Whenever you feel sad, listen to this story, a motivational tale of a discontent raven roaming through the forest one afternoon. A lone raven perched atop a tall oak tree, gazing down at the other birds enjoying themselves below. But unlike the others, this raven was not happy. In fact, he felt utterly miserable with his situation in life. "Why must I be a boring blackbird?" he thought to himself. "The ducks get to swim together in groups, laughing and having fun. The sparrows chatter noisily amongst themselves. Even the crows are sociable in their murderous groups. But me, I am all alone with no one." As the sun began to set, painting the sky a vibrant orange hue, the raven could not help the tears welling up in his eyes. He felt so unfulfilled, as if something was missing from his life that the other birds seemed to have. With a deep sigh, the first teardrop fell from his eye. Just then, a monk happened to be meditating under that very same tree. The solitary tear fell from above and landed gently on the monk's bald head. Stirred from his thoughts, he glanced up to see the raven peering down, tears now streaming down his feathered face. "Why do you cry, my friend?" the monk called up softly. Sniffling, the raven began, "O wise one, I am but a lonely and miserable bird. The others all revel together while I have no one. I am black as the night and have nothing colorful about me. Death would be better than this pitiful life." The monk's heart went out to the distraught raven. He replied gently, "We all have times of darkness, little one. But we must learn to be content with our state and find purpose within, not compare without. True happiness comes from within, not without." But the raven did not understand the monk's wise words. He continued sobbing, feeling more discontent than ever at his simplistic lot in life. Seeing the raven would not be consoled, the monk had an idea. "Fine then. If changing your form will make you happy, I can use my magic to do so. But first, go and see what other birds feel of their lives before deciding. Then return to me and I shall grant your wish." Excited at the prospect of change, the raven dried his tears and flew off in search of the other birds. First, he spotted a grand white swan gracefully floating upon the surface of a pond. Surely this beautiful bird must be happy with its elegant appearance. Landing beside the swan, the raven said, "Oh, how marvelous you look, as milky white as fresh fallen snow. You must be the most pleased of all birds." But surprisingly, the swan shook its large head and replied in a melancholy tone, "Alas, no. Though white paints me as pure, I wish I had lovely colors like the others. White shows nothing of who I am." Disheartened, the raven took flight once more. If even the splendid swan was not content, who could be? Next, he happened upon a colorful parade of parrots in a nearby tree, laughing and preening their spectacular plumes. "Here is a group who must feel splendid in their glossy coats," the raven mused. Approaching the parrots, the raven cheerily asked, "With your rainbow of hues, you all seem beyond blissful. Who could be happier than a beautiful parrot?" But one parrot stepped forward with a sad look and mentioned, "I may shine, but I live in fear of being trapped again in a too small cage, on display, but not free." By now the raven was growing confused. If even the sociable parrots and the swan were not satisfied, who could be? With the setting sun, he spotted the resplendent emperor of birds, the peacock, fanning his spectacular tail before an entranced audience at the local zoo. Surely a being so extravagantly painted must delight always in its design. Catching the peacock's eyes, the raven greeted him, "Magnificent creature! With your dazzling dress and admirers each day, you must know only bliss." But shaking its head, the peacock whispered back sadly, "I am confined and people rootle through my feathers, causing me pain. All for their own pleasure, not mine. A gilded cage is still a prison." The raven could hardly believe what he was hearing. None of the colorful, sociable birds felt truly content. All seemed to find fault in some area of their lives. Discouraged, he asked the peacock, "If you're not happy, then who is? Which bird lives with no regrets?" Thinking deeply, the peacock looked around his enclosure, finally spotting the raven and smiling. "My friend, you are the only one who comes and goes freely as you please through the sky. No cage, No demands, just simplicity. I believe the raven is truly the happiest of all. Hardly daring to believe it, the raven flew off into the night, pondering all he had seen and heard. Returning to the monk at long last, he bowed low and said, "Why, sir, forgive my foolishness before. After seeing how even the most beautiful birds find cause for complaint, I see now that simplicity can be its own blessing. Please, I am happy enough as a plain old raven." The monk smiled kindly. "You have learned a valuable lesson, that true contentment comes from within, not without. Comparing oneself to others leads only to jealousy and sadness. Be at peace in what you have been given." And so the raven returned to his solitary perch in the woods, but with a new sense of purpose and acceptance. From that day on, he was once again happy with his simple black feathers and solitary way of life. He had learned that true happiness lies not in color or company, but in being joyful with one's lot. This story reminds us that the grass is not always greener on the other side. Social media tends to highlight only the positive pieces of others' lives, making our own seem dull by comparison. But true contentment comes from cultivating gratitude for what we do have, not obsessively wanting more. I hope you enjoyed this tale. Please subscribe to our channel for more inspirational videos and stories about finding purpose and peace within. Thanks for watching.